He's blue and he's made out of diamonds. The Golden Age Marvel explored today on Comicology. So, the Blue Diamond isn't really good or evil. He's kind of just a weirdo. God, how do I best explain this phenomenon to you? Imagine Superman, but imagine his only power is being invulnerable. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. As we see in this opening page, the Blue Diamond has the greatest diamond-coated lettering of all time. He has the best title of probably this whole series. Take note of all this gunfire. Take note, he is unharmed. The bullets magically bounce off of his body. The story begins in the Arctic as a team of adventurers discover a massive diamond lodged in the ice. They take the diamond on their ship and remark at its unnatural beauty. However, this is a bad idea as it turns out this story is set during World War II and they are currently in Nazi-occupied waters. Long story short, they are sunk by a submarine torpedo. Mr. Elton Marrow, the lead professor on the expedition, falls overboard but makes sure to take the giant diamond down with him. Priorities, people. Elton tries desperately to swim for safety, but the Nazis approach and open fire on them, killing all the survivors. Elton clings to the diamond, which is struck by an artillery shell. It explodes, which shatters the diamond and lodges all the pieces inside of Elton's body. I think you can see where this is going, and in my opinion, it's a fairly unique and interesting origin story. Moments before death, a British plane shows up and puts an end to the Nazi submarine nonsense, but not before Elton is mostly dead. The British pilots take the survivors aboard their plane and transport them out of there. Together, they fly to an Allied ship where Elton receives treatment for his wounds. This is where we discover that his body has somehow not died, but instead absorbed the strange powers of the diamond and ejected nothing more than pieces of stone in return. The doctor remarks how lucky he is to even be alive. So Elton is all like nonchalant about this whole thing. He just got out of a war zone. He doesn't even really care. He's just upset that the diamond is gone, but I mean, most of it is lodged inside of his body, so he's gonna kind of keep it forever. So I guess that's a good thing. The ship returns everyone to the city of New York, and Elton tries to go back to his normal life. It is, however, that he discovers that his body has been completely changed. His skin is now hard as a diamond and mostly impervious to pain. Outside of his lab one day, he notices a child about to get hit by a car and decides to rescue the child, but destroying the car in the process. Then he decides to test his strength on a tree and smashes it in half, unflinchingly and seemingly without guilt. Superpowers can make a man do some crazy things. It's at this point where Elton gets the bright idea to use his new abilities to fight crime. He notices some strange lights coming from a nearby museum after dark and decides to investigate. It's here that he discovers the museum is inhabited by thieves. Regardless of their firearms, which would never work on Elton anyway, he makes short work of them. After mopping them up like yesterday's trash, the story quickly resolves, with Elton swearing to use his powers to become an enemy of all crime and making himself a ridiculous costume. But bonus time, the Blue Diamond actually has two stories in this episode of Comicology. Even though he premiered in Daring Mystery Comics number 7, he actually had a second and final story, the only two stories he's ever appeared in Daring Mystery Comics number 8. And strap yourselves in because this one moves fast. Blue Diamond, the Bulletproof Man versus the Hypnotized Ghosts. Our story begins with Dr. Elton Marrow alone in his workshop in the museum. He has recently returned from an expedition to Mongolia where he brought a cast of Aboriginal people from what I assume is going to be some sort of display. We immediately shift into a retelling of the previous story's events. to get the audience up to speed on the Blue Diamond's origins and powers. Then at the bottom of this page, we're treated to some exposition in which we learn that apparently some people have gone missing and there are no clues as to finding them. Everybody seems to be up in arms about the kidnapping, and so the Blue Diamond decides he wants to get involved, but he doesn't yet know how. Then suddenly something completely insane happens. All of the statues Professor Marrow worked on to craft, they all come to life and, well, they start running around. So this isn't explained very well, at least at first. It is a bit later on, but it starts sort of ambiguous as to why these things are alive. But they are referred to in the story as zombies. And then ghosts. Also Nazis. So, yeah. The Blue Diamond gives chase, but the Nazi zombie ghosts are remarkably quick. And after a short race, they escape into a secret passage in the Egyptian wing of the museum. By the way, we are inside of a museum. It's never explained, but Professor Marrow is actually a doctor of anthropology that works on a museum and goes on expedition to find relics. Just like another very famous character you might know. So then the zombies have outpaced Mr. Diamond, and he's at a loss as to what to do until he remembers that he has, well, diamond hard skin. So he just bursts through the wall to the other side. The Nazi zombie ghosts are so shocked, they totally weren't expecting that to happen. Then, well, he just kicks 10 tons of crap out of them. I mean, he beats the crap out of them. He interrogates one of the NZGs and learns that they are actually former citizens who are being hypnotized into working for a Nazi spy by the name of Eric Carlin, who is also apparently a master of mentalism. Apparently, the plan was to have the NZGs sleep in the museum overnight and then wake up and rob the place, except they weren't counting on the Blue Diamond. So then the Blue Diamond just leaves the NZGs alone in the museum while they're still very much under hypnotic control. And yeah, he doesn't seem to care, and I'm pretty sure they're still going to rob that place. So now we're ready for the final showdown. Good old Diamond breaks into Carlin's home to assassinate him. At first, Carlin retaliates by attempting to hypnotize him, but for some reason this doesn't work on the Diamond, so he moves to plan B, which is a machine gun. He fires a full clip at BD, but he just kind of stands there all condescending like, dude, you serious? I'm the Blue Diamond. They go into Carlin's secret underground lair where he tries to toss BD into a vat of acid. But BT is a master of jujitsu and pulls a reversal. Carlin goes into the acid instead, smoke billowing out, proof that he was probably liquefied. BD then makes a final note that Carlin killed himself. But no, it was actually BD that did that. I don't know. I don't blame him. I've got nothing against BD, dude. I love this character. This guy is so great. He's an adventurer. He's an invulnerable. He's smart and interesting. I mean, as far as Golden Age standards are concerned, I feel like they really seriously missed a golden opportunity with this guy. I can only imagine all the great, crazy stories that could have been told using this character, but they never happened. His second story came in Daring Mystery Comics number 8, which was then canceled. He never got a third story and never reappeared in any other books. It's a complete shame. Even though a lot of people would think that his power set is too basic, just consider that this came out in the 1940s. This was groundbreaking stuff. Just imagine to yourself, think to yourself, how many superheroes you know in the modern age that have invulnerability as a part of their power set. Yeah, that comes from characters like this. Anyway, that's enough for me. Thank you all for reading this comic with me. If you want to read more, follow me on Facebook and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yeah, I think that's it for me. I'm going to go write some Blue Diamond fan fiction. I'll see all y'all in the next one.